there, my name is Rachel Messick, and I am in the Fall 2020 Anatomy of the Eye class, EDSP 5383. One interesting fact about my irises is that whenever I change the color of my shirt, my eye color changes. So if I'm wearing a blue shirt or a green shirt, my eyes typically change either blue or green. Sometimes they even change to the color gray, which is more probably like a light blue. All right, here you go. Here are the 18 structures of the eye.
This structure of the eye is called the cornea. It is the transparent tissue that protects the eye. It has a bulging curvature that provides the major refraction of the eye, which helps when we focus in on things. The sclera is the next structure of the eye. It is the white part of the eye that is a tough outer protective layer that helps to protect your eyes. The next structure is called the conjunctiva. This is the clear membrane that covers the sclera, which was the white, tough outer layer we just talked about. It lines the inner portion of the eyelids. Next is the iris. This is the colored part of the eye. Typically, it's brown, green, hazel, or blue. It includes the pupil and controls the amount of light that enters through the eye by enlarging or minimizing the size of the pupil. This takes us right into the pupil. The pupil is the center of the iris, where light comes through and passes. It appears to be black because of the little light that can come through from the chamber. You cannot touch the pupil. Next up is the aqueous humor. The aqueous humor has watery fluid that fills the interior chamber of the eye. It provides some of the nutrition for the surrounding parts of the eye, and it helps to cleanse the lens. It constantly is being produced to provide nutrition and to clean the lens. Next up is the lens. This is the transparent structure in the eye that focuses light by changing its curvature. It gets thicker or thinner, and it's located behind the iris. So when the lens gets thicker, it focuses at near to converge rays of light to work at a closer distance. Next up is the canal of Schlemm. We talked about the aqueous earlier. So the aqueous from the interior chamber flows through the trabecular meshwork as it travels to the canal of Schlemm. That canal is what delivers the aqueous to the venous system of the body. The trabecular meshwork is that filtration band that circles and adjacent to the outer rim of the iris, where the aqueous fluid flows through before it enters the venous system. Next up is the ciliary muscle. This is the muscles around the eye that controls focus of the eyes, and this is what helps the lens to change shape. This leads us right into the suspensory ligaments. These are connected to those muscles we just talked about. They have long, thin fibers that connect the lens to the ciliary muscles. The next structure we're going to talk about is the vitreous humor. This is a clear, jelly-like substance that fills the eye behind the lens, which is the posterior segment of the eye. And then next we have the optic nerve. So the optic nerve is the bundle of fibers that carry the vision impulses that come from the retina to the brain. That's what the optic nerve handles. Next up, we have the optic disc. This is also known as the blind spot. This is the head of the optic nerve where the cell axons exit the eye. There are no photoreceptors there or rods or cones at the optic disc. Next up is the macula. This is the small area of the retina that consists almost exclusively of cone photoreceptor cells. These provide high visual acuity. Next, we're going to talk about the fovea centralis. We just talked about the macula. So this fovea centralis is the central portion of the macula. It has the highest concentration of cones, and it is only at the fovea that we have 20/20 vision. This is the ora serrata. This is the area of the inner eye where the retina ends and the choroid layer of the eye can be seen. Next up is something we talk about pretty often. It's called the retina. The retina is the inner lining of the back of the eye, which contains the rods and the cones that receive the light rays. The rays are then converted into electrical impulses, which are then relayed to the brain via the optic nerve. Lastly, we have the choroid. This is the layer between the retina and the sclera that consists primarily of blood vessels that provide nutrition to the retina.